All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're here. Going to handle the day. Can you guys give me a heads up? Can you guys hear me okay right now? I just need this. I've been trying to get this mic connected appropriately. I never know if it's actually working or not. So, and without Blaze or Dom here, I can't really get feedback right away. So let me know if it sounds like it's coming through. Multi-language ads been locking in. My goodness. Sorry, David. We have subscriptions turned on, so I know that when we have subscriptions turned on, you're definitely good. Thanks, Bukes, appreciate you. Hey, Bukes, your conversation, your interview with Blaze is out today at 4:45. I believe I scheduled it for 4:45 Eastern. So go ahead and check that out. Great conversation, able to clip a few things. Just audio, so we know we don't have any video there, which is wonderful still, because we still have really good stuff in there. So definitely love it. But good morning to the rest of the couch going on. David, Dylan, and of course Bukes, Matt or Matthew. I wasn't sure actually. I went with Matt the whole time that I was editing stuff. We got MP, we got Bropit, all over the country, guys. Let me see if we got this right. We got. David, do you actually speak German, Spanish, and Portuguese? We got Arizona, we got South Jersey, we got South Dakota, we have Ohio, right? And then Dylan Wright. Yeah, Dylan Wright. Why do I always forget this? You are Kansas City? Hope I got that. I don't know if I do. Anyway, good morning to the couch over there. Good morning, everyone coming in. We might have Dom. We're definitely going to have Blaze just a little bit later. I know he's running behind right now. But everything that we have going on this morning, guys, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's get some gratitude going if we definitely can. Let's share some gratitude. Let's make sure we do it. And as we're there, let's make sure that we always know that if we have the creative side going, we got our gratitude. Nice. All right, that's my thing. I like to make sure that I am always getting creative whenever I'm feeling like I just need to get a little bit of something going on. Moved everything around over here. Here we go. All right, cool. All right, gratitude for today, though. Gratitude, I am incredibly grateful for the opportunity to, why is it in my head? I'm going to have to go with it. But overall, gratitude for me is the ability to have these spaces, whether it's in the city or it's going to be here in Brooklyn, to kind of bounce back and forth and get different kind of mindsets around certain things, whether it's going to be for work, just for personal reflection, or anything else going on. But I currently am very happy with the setup that has been created for me. So it's been really good for me mentally, been really good for me all around the place. So I am grateful for what I have right now in the moment, and that's pretty good. And then for the couch guys, drop it in here. We know we got David over here. Gratitude, the rule of thirds. I'm familiar with the rule of thirds over here, but how is David explaining it? Everyone has a 1/3 great days, a third okay days, and a third crappy days. Crappy day is the best day to do something difficult, like exercise, when you don't want to. Oh man, that hit this morning for me. It becomes the best day. You are still 1% better for powering through. I recently heard someone say they focused not on 1%, but they focused on 10%. And maybe I took a little bit too much of a deep dive into that thought, but I was thinking, because I used to use the 1% all the time too, and it's not wrong, obviously, but the 10% I feel just kind of hit me. I know it's like playing with semantics right now, but the idea was that, is it 1%? Is it 10%? Can you push yourself a little bit more? I think if I can tell myself some days, do I have the 10%? Maybe when you, like, I always think of, whenever I'm talking with clients, I have survival days, we have maintenance days, and then we also have push days. And so, if I have a client from the nutrition space, whatever they're doing, if it's a performance goal, if it's going to be a body fat loss goal, if it's just an overall health goal, sometimes I'm always going to say, okay, what's going on? Where is your overall stress, time management, and happiness? And so if happiness is high, stress is going to be low, and they have a lot of time to kind of fit things in, you're in push mode. And I'm always going to ask someone to maybe be towards that, maybe 10% if that's the case. But yeah, I think even if you're in survival mode, what's that 1%? So again, playing with semantics, but definitely however you approach it. And this is the thing. I think we were talking about this on Health Dads with my buddy Brofit about how, we should not only have one voice in terms of how we're learning and how we're being taught something. I think that we need to have different sources of material. We have to have different sources of education. And so, I think the way I'm saying it right now is one way, but someone's going to connect with that and someone might completely want to trash it. So definitely good. But thanks for that. We got MP over here. MP, gratitude to spend some time with my oldest this weekend. Wife and 2 youngest are going to Virginia for the weekend. Where in Virginia? And my oldest are hanging back and going to a Lego Fest. Lego Fest. Man, Blaze, where are you? We got a Lego Fest going on. Blaze loves Legos. So he would have so many questions about that. Blaze has been trying to get a VeeDads meetup at Legoland over here in Southern New York. I think he's been really excited for it. We should just plan that and then surprise him. I think that would be really fun. So, and then what are you planning to do with your oldest this weekend? That, if it's just you two, MP, what are you going to end up doing? Fredericksburg. Got it. Fredericksburg. That must mean it's more of a family thing, right? That's a little more rural down there. What do you plan to do with your oldest, though? I feel like it's sometimes when I'm ever planning, I'm always thinking with my oldest or my youngest, I'm always more, what's going on, Nate? I'm always going for, I'm just more of a in the moment kind of guy, like spur of the moment, which is not helpful at all. And I understand that. But sometimes I feel like I can't really plan more than like 3 days in advance. And so if I had that weekend, I feel like I would wait to the morning of and then be like, what's going on today? How's the weather? How's my mood? How are we feeling? So all those kind of things. But we got MP over here. He's going to be doing breakfast, Lego Fest tomorrow. Sunday is church, and then park day. Bike broke months ago. Somebody surprised me with a new bike. Mike, what's going on there? We got Craig popping in too. Nate, Craig, thank you so much for being here. Good evening. Yes, good evening to our Australian contingents. And guys, if you have your gratitude, please drop it. I will circle back around to it and see what's going on. All right. But to anyone new, if I'm ever on by myself, I would just like to take the moment and explain what's really going on. So just open up those ears and just know that if you are new, anything that's really going on right now for you guys, we are doing a daily meditation, as it's known. It's just a daily page from Ryan Holiday's book, The Daily Dad. We are really coming at you through the umbrella of VeeDads, excellent, a very strong, almost niche community that is always working to find, the kindness and the empathy within ourselves to kind of give to the world. And so we've been doing that for a while now. I mean, I think it's been since January. We're going to be coming up to a year soon doing all this kind of stuff too. So we have our podcast. So we have our VeeDads podcast, which is really its own thing. And, that's where we're trying to highlight dads in the community. We're just ramping up, I would say, season 3, if we can call it that. We're getting season 3 going. We're getting more dads. We just had Matthew Bukes over here, Bukes 605. Is that what it is? It's your zip code, area code? No, zip code, whatever it is, out in South Dakota. So that's what we have going on. And then we have Daily Dads, and Daily Dads is under the umbrella of VeeDads. We have the podcast. We have Daily Dads over here. We're here every single morning, 8:30 Eastern to 5:30 Pacific, and again, always talking about a daily meditation. These meditations are from Ryan Holiday. They are about parenting. They are about being all things dad, but we are all VeeDads, and that's just saying, all kinds of parents, right? Moms, dads, stepdads, everything all together. And then, these meditations are usually pulling in some sort of historical figure, but overall it's making sure that we are learning something from stoicism, right? Wisdom, justice, courage, and what's that fourth one? Wisdom, justice, courage, and guys, put it in there. Damn, I almost had it, but I don't right now. So we have that, and then modern psychology and also practical wisdom. So really good stuff there. Our buddy Dom, who is here almost every morning with us, had recommended that we do this, and we have been for a while now. So it's been pretty good. We also have Health Dads with myself, and then also our great dad over here in Arizona. You know him as BrofitAZ, and we are going live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 Pacific, and then we just started up a new temperance. Thank you. Temperance is the fourth, right? So wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. And we got a new podcast going on, which I don't know if it's under, it's really up to you, buddy. But I got our buddy Robbie. We have a podcast, Second Lap, that we've been doing with him. It's really his. We've just been kind of talking about it. So, but every Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern, we will be talking about his second lap around the world. Our buddy has gone around the world one time already in steps that he's been tracking. And so he's learned a lot, and he's been sharing that, and only wants to make sure that he is helping people understand the benefits of not just walking itself, but I think that goal and that distance and, the focus that it actually takes for that. And it's pretty amazing. So always check in. There's always going to be a replay. We have all our replays over here on our podcast. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts, which I think is our best platform people are listening on. But we're now also on iHeartRadio, and also on what's the other one that, being an Apple person, I forget about all the time. But the other one, which is all the other phones, it's there. So we are on all over the place. So it's all good stuff. Craig, you can definitely, it's not Spotify. We are on Spotify. Is it Amazon Podcast? No, it is. Anyway, they're all over the place. So wherever you're going to listen to, you can always look back and do those replays, which is definitely good. But we're dropping gratitude every single morning. And so thank you so much for dropping those, guys. I'm going to swing back around over here. We got Craig's gratitude. Thankful for Nate jumping in a video chat to shoot the poop and make sure each other are doing okay. You guys are excellent friends. And I know it must be so incredibly helpful. And then gratitude, my mate Craig. You guys are just patting each other on the back over here. Some people might call it a circle. Pat in the back. Been a real rough couple of weeks, and this bloke just consistently hits with the love and support. Yeah. I've always said I would love Craig to be my grandfather, just because I know that Craig loves being a grandfather, and so it makes it good. Broke it over here in AZ, folded Dom. That's awesome, man. 10,000 steps already. We have a Daily Dads walking challenge right now, and it's been really good. It's coming up to the end, but we have that going on. All right, guys. So thanks for checking in. We got 19 people over here looking at My Daily Dads over on X. We got 5 people over here on my personal Food is Fuel NYC X account as well. And we got our community in here. So guys, thanks so much. Let's jump into the Daily Dad by Brian Holiday. Again, it is October 11th. It's entitled Be Like This. And if you don't know, every single month actually has its own flavor, has its own topic. And we've been through a lot. Just last month was all about getting our kids to read, getting educated on reading and what the benefits are of all that kind of stuff. First month we did back in June was actually all about, getting healthy ourselves and our kids seeing that. So every month is different. This month is all about resilience, building resilience within our kids. And so it's been a good one. It's actually been almost refreshing. It's been a little bit of a breath of fresh air in a way, because I think that sometimes we can get so deep into the feelings and the emotion of stuff, which is completely good. It's great. But I think overall, I'd like to kind of see, like, where are we able to push our kids just a little bit more? Where are we getting them to grow, right? Kids in their childhood right now, it's just like a muscle, right? We have to be able to push to a point of stress in a way, right? A muscle needs to be pushed to the point of stress. The muscle needs these little micro tears to actually grow, just like our kids, right? I don't know if it's a tear or if it's, the incredible kind of stress, but we have to be pushed to a point of being uncomfortable for us to actually be in a position to grow from that. And just remember, just like muscle, our growth happens in times of of non-exercise or non-movement, right? That's how you have to take your time away. So when we push our kids to possibly learn something new, when we push them to actually become something different, to try something new, we then have to give them that time to actually sit back and reflect. But I think we need to be part of that. Sometimes I think I can use way too many words with my kids and let them reflect, but I just like to know what they're thinking. But sometimes our kids don't know what they're thinking, but we have to give them the space to think and reflect, and then share when they are ready. I always love the book. I mentioned it thousands of times, but the book, The Rabbit Listened, it is all about how we can just be there, make space, create space for our kids, just to make sure that we are there listening. So it's good. But today it's a short one. These are always really short readings. It's nothing crazy, just for us to really be talking about. How many of you guys in the chat are definitely reading or listening every single morning? Or are you just waiting for us to kind of bring up the topic? Because it makes me think, should we go deeper into the actual reading and even like read more verbatim? How many of you guys, whether it's a thumbs up, whether it's a wave, whatever you want to do, is there any, are you guys reading every single day? Or I feel like Nath does. Nath usually does a good job posting sometimes about the what we're actually talking about. So okay, great. We got MP read in the morning and again before bed. Nath both, David both. Good stuff. And if anyone listening does not have the book or does not have the audiobook, Blaze is usually really upfront and he will let you know if you guys need an audio copy, then he has the ability to send you one. So don't think that you don't have it. If you guys want to follow along, I'm always happy to send you a pic on it. But October 11th, Be Like This, which is interesting. I forgot about this video, and I don't think this video made me as emotional as the other day, the one video that I did talk about that did make me emotional. But today is talking about the viral video. Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember this video? Did you guys look at it? Did you guys look it up? But the video of the 4-year-old Iranian boy, I'm gonna botch this name, but I am gonna try. But Arat Hothani. If you guys remember this, he was trying to get up onto a box or a stool, whatever it was. Me, I've been there too. I don't know, jumping. I know a lot of people who do CrossFit, you kind of do these box jumps. But he was trying to get to a new level, get his feet, jump from the floor, up onto the box, right? Get himself stronger. And he's like a little kid, right? And his dad's in the background. You can kind of hear his dad, and the kid keeps failing. He's failing over and over and over to the point where I'm like, are his shins okay? We got to check those out. Because his shins kept hitting the box. But that video, it really was, even if I'm not even reading this, it did, at the end, the kid finally, makes it on top of the box, and he's so excited, and his dad's really excited, and his dad is, cheering him on. And it's all about that resilience, right? Trying over and over and over again. And so even Ryan Holiday says Arat tries and fails 9 times. And then his dad, Muhammad, enters the frame, gives his I forgot about that. His dad does come in and gets in his ear and kind of gives him a little pep talk, says something, whatever it was, right? And then on that next attempt, Arat, right, the 4-year-old boy, finally gets up on top of the box. And it's just a really cool thing. I mean, they're both excited. They're pumping their fists, right? As Ryan Holiday reminds us here. But where Ryan Holiday goes in this meditation is he starts talking about, I guess it's Latin here, but I'm not even going to try it now. But basically, the term in Latin that he's trying to get at is I struggle and emerge. And he's saying that it's all about what this was, right? It's there's not a pointless struggle, right? We're not here to push our kids just to create those micro tears that we were talking about at the moment. We're not here to, just like throw them into the fire and then, okay, you just figure it out, right? That can be pointless. That can be harmful. And I think that we might do this, whether it is something that is on purpose, if it's deliberate, or if it's not deliberate. I think we have to catch ourselves if we think that we're pushing our kid to a point of struggle too much, layering too many demands on top, understanding maybe what's going to be more age appropriate, right? We've been talking about, our kids, my 7-year-old cooking, doing her laundry, right? Making sure she's picking up after herself. There definitely is, a benefit of, getting these chores going on. Recently, they were all playing here in this apartment building. They were all out here in, um, they were playing in the hallway and just made a mess of it more than usual. My wife made sure that they went out and they cleaned it up and they gave them kind of chores. And now all the kids that play there, they're definitely making sure that they have their own little chores, their own little jobs before they leave after playing, usually after dinner. And so I think that's a great way for them to be growing. I think it's, as Nate says here, like the fine balancing line between coddling and not supporting. And so, we'd be coddling if we were to say, okay, well, we'll clean up after you because you're kids and you just deserve this childhood. But I think that, if we're not supporting them and we don't think about how it's important for the kids to kind of get outside and go play, in the hallway, we have to, okay, how can we get them to play, but then also understand that there's some responsibility here. So I thought that was really good by her and the moms to kind of figure out the best thing to do. So, picking up when they fail, right? It's all these things, teaching failure, talking about failure. This is what we talked about before, right? We talked about dads, moms, parents, everyone, not just sharing all of your wins, all of the positive things, all of the great things, all the smiles, like share the frowns, share the tears, share the failures, because that's how our kid is going to, one, be okay, understanding that failure is a thing, and then also how to come back from that failure. I think it's hard because that is vulnerability. We don't want our kids to know that we didn't make a sale, or money's tighter this month because we couldn't do that, or maybe even in our health, like can't seem to kind of get up off the couch. But I think if it's something here where we can share that failure and we can share the, what we want to do and share the struggle, they see the struggle, and then that can push you to show them how they can come back from it too. You use this system to support, let them find their own system. And so I think that is definitely helpful. Just want to go over here to the couch really quickly. So you got Nath. Yeah, I'm just making sure I'm hitting on this. But Nath did mention that fine balancing line between coddling and not supporting. MP was over here, with daily chores. There was something recently. Did anyone else see something? There was someone released something, and I'm trying not to just make this a headline statement, but I'm kind of saying it now, is that there was a study done on chores. I think it was like a 75-year study, if I can remember, but on chores and overall resilience. But I think it was about just kids learning to be an individual. What was it more about? It was about them feeling just successful early on. I'll post it again, or I'll find it and I'll post it. It looks like MP saw it too. But kiddos have daily chores. Most of it involves picking up after themselves. However, some help the family as a whole. Sometimes I think about the idea of them picking up after themselves. Obviously, I think it's necessary, but we're just teaching them to be reactive, right? Proactive would be, keeping the floor. Your job is not to pick up after yourself. Again, playing with semantics. Your job's not to pick up after yourself. Your job is to make sure that you keep the room clean. I don't know how to say it right now, but I think that that's definitely be a necessary thing to kind of like, what is the next step after picking up after yourself, right? Thinking about others, making sure you're going out of your way and doing it. But yeah, you're saying that the kids are going to complain MP, but it gives you the opportunity to explain why we do it. Yeah, I think that is going to be good. And even if you guys, please check out the conversation between Blaze and Bukes, Matthew, out in South Dakota. He has a really great, and Bukes, praising you here. If you get down to what Bukes was saying, a lot of what he was saying was like, I don't have many rules in the house, right? And give me a thumbs up or not, Bukes, if you want this. He's like, I don't have many rules in the house, but really, I'm just making sure, like, if you're going to give mom and dad a hard time, and that doesn't mean just like talking back. I think it probably means, Bukes, is like, if you give us a hard time, we have to clean up after you. We have to do more, we have to do more for you than for us sometimes. Then, you might have more rules placed on you. But the way he was talking about it, I thought was really great. So you guys go check it out. It should be out 4:45-ish today, I think is when I scheduled it, Eastern time. So go check it out. But obviously you can look at it tomorrow or even next week. So, but it'll be really, really good there. And then, David's talking about those rule of thirds again. This is what caught my eye. Where are you? Where did you go, Craig? Craig, we didn't have failures with our kids. As a sports administrator and coach, we use them as learnings. I'm with you 100%. The other thing though, Craig, I'm kind of curious about this. Lost space. Were you afraid of using the word failure? There's no judgment. I'm really curious because I feel like the word failure, are we navigating around it? Are we afraid to use the word failure? Because I would almost hope that maybe it's something that we could definitely make sure that we do bring up and make, language and then understand the difference between learnings and failures. Because like a failure might not have anything to learn from it, right? Which I think is great. Even, knowing our communities coming out of VeeFriends and the cartoons that are out, from what I've heard is that some of the cartoons don't actually have some sort of resolution. Sometimes you have to accept the fact that the failure happened, which I guess is a learning, sure, again, semantics, but I think it's the idea of like, can we use that word failure instead of learnings in both? Like, I get it. I'm just having a thought. But yeah, the sharing for sure, Brofit. I love the sharing. You did a great job. If you guys haven't checked in on the Health Dads discussion yesterday, go check it out. I'll post it. I'm trying to bring it into the podcast. It'll be good. Failure is a teaching moment, of course, to see that going on there, David. Successful and independent. Yes. Okay. So MP is referring back to the video that I saw, is that giving your kid chores, the research that was looked at over a 75-year period was all about how kids, I think it was feel successful, that they felt more successful, right? I don't think it was that they were successful, because what's that definition? But they felt more successful and they felt more independent, which I thought was pretty good, right? That's all about resilience, right? So I thought that was definitely good. I'm trying to get back over here to more of the couch because you guys were just giving some fire today. Thank you. Oh my God, Shaolin, you're here. So good to see you. I was thinking about you the other day. Let's get back on the phone. And then Nath, just a good point here on chores, right? Again, semantics here. A chore should be something above normal. Okay, I'm tracking. Or use the chore as a reward system for reading books or doing nice things. Blaze got us, our family started on a kindness chart, and our kids get like a star for something that they've done that's been kind. And even, if they do something that they felt was kind and they can explain it to us later, let's do it, right? But I think the kindness has been really helpful. And then there's like a reward once they kind of fill their chart up. Our 3-year-old has less things to do, and then our oldest has a little bit more. But that kindness chart has been really great, actually. I think it's been helping them think through things and then be rewarded by it, which I think is definitely really, really great. But the things they're doing, like if that's a chore, right? If you think about, again, semantics, how many times have I said that word today? But it's been really great for them to even, it's almost like the step before the chore, right? If we can be kind before it's necessary to apologize, right? That kind of thing. I think it's been really good. So, got it, Craig. Yeah, I got you, Craig. I think we're talking the same language. It was just a thought that I was just bringing up here about failure and teachings and learnings, all that kind of stuff too. So, yeah, good stuff. And then I think I'm going to end it here, but David says, remember, your kids as adults will structure their adult lives based on what they learned from their childhood failures. ITs. Thinking of a joke to make with IT versus it. It is a curious moment for a parent. Yeah, 100%. All really good stuff, guys. I keep thinking about this resilience to keep building with our kids as best as we really can. And, I always think of social media, because it's my biggest fear right now with my kids. I know it's very close to our hearts here in our community, but social media with our kids, and how, I've always heard, and, I think Gary has also mentioned this, Gary Vaynerchuk has always mentioned the idea of like, you can be scared of social media, but really what we need to make sure we do is not let social media or the people behind it or those keyboard warriors be the ones that are making our kids feel less. right? We have to build up before, we have to build them up before that moment happens, that they understand what their identity is, that they understand how they're confident, that they understand what they can give to the world, and someone behind a keyboard somewhere is not going to be able to tear them down. And that's hard, right? It's not either a, we're going to do it and it's going to work. It's a tough one, right? But I always think about the resilience in that kind of moment. But anyway, guys, great solo episode. Thanks for showing up. I always love it. And thank you so much for our subscribers over on Twitch. We really appreciate you guys. It does help us keep these chats going every single morning. Really, it just helps us pay for any of the software that we're using here, and just makes life a little bit easier. So helps us show up with a smile every single day. Craig, thank you so much, because I usually love to have my notes here that I never read, but my notes are to head over to DJ Kaufman and tell him that his stream right now, he is the animator or the cartoonist for VeeDads. For VeeFriends. Go over to his stream right now. But today he has a special one that Craig is mentioning. He's saying, don't forget DJ and Corso. Corso is like not that far from me, which is pretty cool. I went to go see him before. But they're doing a live comic drawing stream over on Whatnot at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. So that is in about an hour. So go check it out. Go say hi to the community. You can pop in, just say hi. You remember that within this community that there's no need to show up every single day. No need to show up 100% if you can't, because that's not what we're about. All right. Anyway, let's leave it there. All right, guys. Love you all. Hope your mugs stay 10 p.m. in Australia. Yeah. Your mugs stay full of coffee and your heart's gratitude. We will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.